Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show. Another exciting show and definitely another exciting guest. Today, we're going to talk about the first modeling, the first award ceremony, the first everything from Atlanta to Indianapolis, Model Icon Inc. and more with the one, the only Miss Sherrie Gearheart and Campos. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having
You
us.
better put that mic up because it better not be no blooper this time.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Sherrie Gearheart, welcome to Indianapolis.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I've been here all weekend preparing for the big show.
Tell me about the big show.
Okay, so the big show is going to be a life-changing event as we highlight and honor community activists and entrepreneurs. So far, we have several podcasts nominated for Podcast of the Year, amazing nonprofit leaders such as like Mike Ford with Guns Down, Gloves Up, anti-gun violence movement. But so many amazing individuals will come to the stage, receive their award, give speeches. And then, of course, the fashion show is going to be life-changing as well. We have models of all sizes, heights, ages, and ethnicities. And what's really unique about us is that I'm here all weekend training the models, pouring into them for 6 weeks leading up to the show, right? And it's to elevate their brand, take it to the next level, and help them make it into even higher end productions like the major fashion weeks.
Speaking of branding, Campos,
Yes.
you know about that. How important is it in this event to showcase the importance of brandthologists? Being a brandthologist, taking your level, your name or your product to the next level?
Well, everything is about image, So you really have to show your product. So in order to do that, you have to get a quality product. So that's where we are. Making great images, great videos, great publicity. Because if you make like cheap flyers, people is gonna think like, what the hell is this,
I like the way he said it. What the hell is this?
So people is not gonna be interested.
Right.
So we gotta make good image, good branding. So
How do you guys work with different ethnic groups, but a lot of them don't come from a lot of money? How do you take individuals that don't have a lot of money and really teach them the importance of investing money and time to get to that level?
So the individuals that see our work on social media or attend a show, a lot of times people will attend our show year after year after year until they finally are like, okay, I'm ready to invest in myself. But we let them know at the end of the day, the best investment you can make is in yourself. And if this is your dream, you're meant to live your dream and go forth, but you have to put the work into it, right? You have to put the time and the effort and the money. But really, honestly, if you have a will, there is always a way, period.
You sound like you talk from experience.
I do. Why are you gonna go? Yes, I do talk from experience.
You
yes,
know what
sir,
you know what you're gonna get when you sit in this seat. So you sound like you're speaking from experience. Briefly, it's about branding. You took your brand, you believed in your stuff. So tell the viewers a little bit about how you did it, and don't lie.
Okay, all right. Came from very broken household. Lacked that support system. Nobody wanted me to go into the industry. Worked full-time in high school, not only to feed myself and have my basic necessities, but also to take all of the leftover money and invest it in myself. Started my coaching business at 17. So everything that I was learning, I automatically became that mentor. I know you mentioned that word earlier when you said my name. Automatically started pouring into others for free. And also I would charge for that. And I would just take all that money and just keep rolling it into the next.
You mentioned something.
And I did a lot of coaching. Sorry to cut you off, but I did a lot of coaching. Like I'm talking like interview coaching, working with Fortune 500, leaders, working with the Miss America top, communication experts, flew around the country. Whatever I had to do, I made it happen.
Okay, I'm going to go here with this. You didn't have the foundation. Without the foundation, how did you know where you wanted to really go?
I had an amazing grandmother. So that is one thing, that she was my heart and my soul. And even though she didn't support me going into the industry, eventually she did a 180 on that and said, wow, Sherrie, I see the transformation in you and I see you doing it for others. Because I would bring girls that were even more underprivileged than I was into my space, and I would coach them for free. So I don't know. I just think she always encouraged me that I could be something. And that's why I believe in mentorship, and that is so important, because some people don't have that grandmother.
How did he come on board?
So when I had,
because I know you're very selective about
yes,
people that come into your space.
yes.
I know you well enough now. Sorry.
What is that supposed to mean?
those are classified documents.
Oh, yes, I am when it comes
So
to
how
my
did Campos,
team.
how did Campos be a part of your team? Because he handles marketing and media.
Well, I handle the marketing, but yeah, he handles the other aspects, one of the most important aspects. So something that separates our shows from other shows is when the models exit the stage, I've already trained them in high-end posing, right? So they go back and they have to do a super quick, intense photo shoot that's like rapid, right? So 3 shots, you're done, you're out. And those are all of my flyers. Those are all of the billboard shot, like everything Campos does. Like he's that talented. And then he has his whole team set up the production. He works for, he gets hired by a lot of corporations. He gets hired for quinceañeras, weddings, so on and so forth. But he handles our entire stage production, our photography. He has his team shooting the runway and videographing the runway. And I know his work is always the best. I know he is on time, and it's always top notch.
Campos, I heard Mike's story on how she seduced Mike into coming aboard. How did she seduce you in coming on board with her program?
Well,
did she sell you a car?
No, she just invited me to a show, and I really liked it. Like, although all the things going on there, and I really love doing photos. So I do quinceañeras and weddings. And at the time I was doing quinceañeras, but I thought, I think this is something new for me. I really want to get into this.
I'm going to go here for a moment because I think I know how she probably thinks. What did you see that you can bring to her brand that can elevate her brand as well as elevate your own brand? Because at the end of the day, she's about structure and building a foundation. So she saw something in you. You went there and analyzed. What did you have to bring to her to say, you know what, we need to do this to really take this to another level?
Love that.
Well, my work, it's a little more artistic than the other photographers. And when I shoot her show, it was like when I was shooting like for a special shooting for quinceañeras, because it's very artistic. And so she saw it and she liked it. And that was it. I mean,
what did you see in him that you brought him aboard?
So actually, Nayeli Garcia is the one that connected us. She also connected me to Mike Ford, your earlier guest. And I felt so bad. I was 45 minutes late to the meeting. Don't give me that. I didn't.
Cut.
No.
45 minutes late.
I was to the meeting. And thank God he gave me grace. and I invited him to the show, and he was just starting to get into events. So I thought, okay, I love giving people new opportunities. Whether they're going to be officially on the team, though, is a different story. They have to prove themselves, usually after a few shows or several. And so,
Did you tell him that?
oh yeah, absolutely. I am straightforward, completely straightforward. There is no. It is black and white. Anyhow, yes, I did. So going back to that time, it was for my nonprofit.
Yeah.
He came to the event, then he came to the next event, then he went to New York Fashion Week with the team, and then he started to slowly become part of the core team, but not officially on the core team. And then when I was launching Model Icon, I called him and I said, you know what, Campos, out of everyone I've ever worked with, I know how professional you are, and I absolutely love your talent. I'd already honored him. Like I love his work. His artistic eye is incredible. To take what he does with quinceañeras and blend it into the fashion world with the fashion angle, absolutely stunning, breathtaking, beautiful. And he was open to the things I liked, the things I didn't like, and yeah, we sometimes argue, but it's all good because we elevate each other.
Speaking of argument, I'm not going to argue with you now until after we get off camera.
Okay.
About a hot meal for me and Mike. Look, Mike's going, But let's talk about the real things that go on that people don't see about building a foundation like what you got. A lot of times you're going to have those disagreement things. What were some of the things that you guys disagreed on, but at the look, he already look. Go ahead, Campos. What is it?
Wow, I think it's our way to do things. Maybe it's the same, but when we communicate, it's like we don't like to be managed.
Okay.
Each other, you know.
Okay.
Like, so it's really hard. It's like marriage.
I guarantee you, if she wasn't sitting here, you'd be telling it all.
Oh no, this is him telling it all. He's very reserved.
Yeah,
so how do you manage? And the reason I'm asking is because I think people need to know that a successful business, sometimes you're going to have those things, but you got to learn how to compromise. How did you guys learn this?
But I always lose.
Okay, you just give in.
So I have to give up, you know.
Okay.
To be honest, we do butt heads sometimes on the creative vision of what's going on. But the thing that Campos does truly understand, though, is when I enter the room, I want to feel like I'm truly entering an experience. So if the lighting isn't right, I'll go back and forth and argue with the photographer, but it's not really arguing. This is how I want it. This is what I need, because this is the atmosphere I want created. And he gets it. He's awesome. He does what needs to get done.
I feel sorry for you.
No, but he'll tell me. He's like, okay, Sherrie, but this is what we really need, and this is how it needs to be for the best photos.
So let's go back to the girls, and then we're going to talk about your other projects that are near and dear to you. You've opened up so many doors for so many young girls, and I just found out yesterday, even mature women, 16.
Yes.
Why the different lanes? Why the different opportunities? Because when you see beauty pageants on TV, let me clarify so the audience can understand. My indication of a beauty pageant is what I see on TV. You know, you've changed the game. Why did you change it?
Representation is so important. We're not one thing. Even though we are truly one people, at the end of the day, we need to have that representation so everyone knows that they are valued, that the different stages and seasons of life are beautiful and to be embraced. And I was actually one of the first to really push that forward since 2008.
How are you being recognized? And you would think in a with what you do compared to the Miss Universe and all these other pageants, people wouldn't be so humble that you opening up every single door and telling everybody, well, you can do this. You're 300 pounds, you can do this. You're underweight, you can do this. When you got the bigger meetings, like almost like the Final Four, you're not going to hear nothing about the HBC that was here playing because they are not the top of the league. You're competing against the top of the league, and you're winning.
I don't look at it as competing. I look at it as this is what I was called to do. It's my mission. It's my vision to change the industry, to celebrate beauty in all sizes, heights, ages, and ethnicities. And it's just what I love. I mean, I have had a lot of pushback, but I don't care. I just do what I love to do.
What do you mean pushback?
You know, there's going to be individuals who have the negative comments to say about who deserves to be on the runway and who doesn't. And at the end of the day, a model icon breaks those barriers and will continue to do so.
Well, who gives you that? Says who should and who's? Is it the audience?
Actually, it's never the audience. I mean, that's very rare, okay? In fact, our shows are sold out because the audience loves the representation, because they feel seen and they feel heard, and then they're like, wow, I could actually wear that too. I can actually go out and have confidence too. No, it's actually from my competitors, other producers in Chicago or Indy or wherever. And
Not
I don't
in
look
Indy.
at them.
We don't do that here.
No.
We don't hate in Indy. We
not
grow.
in Indy. No, but at the end of the day, I don't look at them as competitors, even though they are. You know, I'm not delusional or naive. But I think there's enough abundance for everybody.
What's your take on that?
Well, that's her field.
That's my
field. Yeah.
You stay. What you stay out of? What do you stay out of? That's a good question. What do you stay out of? You just stay behind the cameras and that's it.
That's exactly my responsibility, and as much as I can be behind the cameras is the best for me, you know.
He's too humble. He does so much, even outside of Model Icon. You have Latino Film Dreamers. You do the Big Day of the Dead event. I know that's not related to Model Icon. He also helps produce films. He gets on stage and does his interviews effortlessly in Spanish. So, you know, if we do this podcast in Spanish, he'll be...
C.
Well, it's different.
C. I know one word. C.
C. Well, that's enough.
That's enough. That gets me by all the time. See.
Yeah.
So let me go here with you. You do something that's really unique. You prep your models for one thing in particular that I really liked. They have to have a cause, something that they hold dear, and they have to stick with that. So they're just not coming on the stage being pretty. They have to have what is called a purpose. Explain why that was so important to your brand. You know you was going to get it when you sat down here, and it's late, and me and Mike didn't get a chance to eat.
Oh my God. Okay.
Nothing.
I run a leadership academy. It's a transformative experience. We go through finding your voice, finding your purpose. I have a 56-page workbook, and that is really what matters, is knowing why God put you here on this earth. And it really is to serve others, but in what capacity to serve others, right? And so what are you called to do? What have your life experiences been? Because you were there and you thought you could never come out of that. And now look where you are today. And that story is not finished being written, right? So I just help people realize, I think if we were to take it back, people come into pageantry a lot, not all, and into modeling because they're trying to fulfill an egotistical, I'm worth it, this is my self-worth, you know, very like baseline needs, right? But at the end of the day, when you get past that, you're so much more than just how you look, right? So what's your purpose? So I do encourage them to use their voice and to get on social media and use their newfound following as a model to spread awareness for their cause or their testimony.
How does an individual get involved in your program, and is it worldwide? How do you attract these people, and what's the protocol to be a part of it?
So we post our auditions. They can sign up for the pageant at mripageant.com or for Model Icon at modeliconmagazine.com. They go through an audition process, and they can choose to sign up for the training for the pageant or not. And then for the modeling, that is part of the process no matter what. So I tell people, if you're not coachable, if you're not willing to put in the time and the effort, this is not the opportunity for you. Because you have to be willing to put in the effort and the time, right?
Have you turned people away?
Yeah, absolutely. I've turned people away. Yes.
Why?
Ego, not being a team player, not thinking they don't have room for growth, thinking that they know it all. What we do is very unique, okay? Because there are, and no disrespect to any of the other shows, because I do support all of the different shows in the industry, okay, with all the different, ways that they do things, right? We are different. Our technique is very high end. I'm preparing them for Paris Fashion Week. I'm preparing them for the legitimate, higher end New York Fashion Weeks, LA, preparing them for major red carpet hosting events. So if you're not here to invest and you're not here to show up and be serious, then Model Icon is not for you.
Let's get real. Let me ask a serious question. People are listening to this. Roughly how much is this? I know people don't like to talk about money, but if I'm listening, I'm asking myself, do I have the nickels and dimes to do this?
So we keep our program fees extremely affordable. It's only $400 to sign up for coaching, and if people do not have the funds to do that, they can sell tickets. If they can't afford to sell the $135 tickets, which is quite pricey, we can give them a discounted ticket link to sell tickets, and all of that gets deducted from their fee. And we do accept payment plans as well, and we also have a people's choice voting that we do at some juncture leading up to the show, and we can opt to choose the funds that come in for their votes, $1 a vote, and apply that to their fees if we must.
So in other words, you're going to make it happen.
I'm going to make it happen.
Make an opportunity
if they are willing to do it, I'm going to make it happen 100%. Mm-hmm.
Campos, I'm going to ask you a question before we go back to Sherrie and answer the next question. How do you train these models to know how to conduct themselves in front of the camera?
Well, that's something we need to see in each person, their personality, especially with people with overweight that doesn't feel like comfortable.
Right.
So that's where, starting with Sherrie, which is the first contact,
Mm-hmm.
she starts there. Then when they come to me, obviously I make them feel comfortable. When I do a photo shoot, I treat them like queens, no matter who, and I make them confident. So if I see a photo, just for give you an example, if I'm doing a photo shoot and I see a couple photos I don't like because I'm seeing the photos, I don't make the face like, oh, no, I'm always like embracing, like make them.
You better get that mic so we can hear you.
Sorry, like make them feel good,
Right.
Why?
No, I said right.
Yeah, right. So doing that, they start feeling comfortable in front of the camera. And then if I see a couple angles where they look good, I show them. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm good at this. So we try to...
What is the most difficult part of your job? Is it instilling confidence in someone that has never actually been in front of the camera?
That's hard. But the most difficult thing is when they are not willing, like you said before, like they're not willing to invest time or effort.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some people that are really shy, but they really want to feel good, to try. And that's...
Is everybody photogenic? And be real, is everybody really a photogenic person?
No, but we can help.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why.
What does that mean? What does that mean when somebody's, I tell people all the time I'm not photogenic. So what does that really mean?
Well,
mean you're not photogenic?
I'm not
What do
photogenic.
you mean?
I'm not. I don't like
I'm over
being
here
in
looking at you like, why aren't you
Look
on
at
the
that,
model?
look at
Look
that.
at that photo right there.
Look, you got
why
that.
aren't
You
you on
did
the
that.
model icon stage,
Look,
sir?
you ran that pitch with Mike.
I didn't know. I didn't run it with Mike. I told him, this is what you're doing. No, I'm just.
What does that mean? You know, when somebody says they're really not photogenic, does that mean that they don't have the ability to do a whole bunch of different types of photos? Are they minimum on what they can do, or are there certain things that they are really good at? What's your definition of that?
I don't know. I think it's just your personality.
Some people just don't like being in front of the camera, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's. I think that's the answer. I don't like to be in front of the camera,
See?
but there's another photographers that can make me look good.
Okay.
You know, I'm not like you said. I'm not photogenic, but
But somebody can make you photogenic.
yes, of course.
Now, the next question, something that's dear and close to you. You're doing something that has to do with mental. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so I'm actually a suicide prevention specialist. I had a nonprofit for 10 years. I've traveled to 8 countries advocating for just suicide prevention awareness and education, okay? Spoken in schools and all that good stuff. Actually went to Liberia during the Ebola crisis, mostly worked in inner city and rural areas as well. So the number one thing I'd like to share, and I think this is important, is that everyone will have faced depression at least one time in their life. And so it's extraordinarily important that we know that the warning signs for depression as well as for suicide, okay? If I were to really say anything of importance in this interview today, it is a call to action for everyone to go to qprinstitute.com, pay the $35. It's the best investment you can make for yourself, for your family, and for your community and loved ones. You pay that $35, you get trained in how to do a crisis intervention, okay? Those steps are question, persuade, refer. We need to ask the tough questions, or we'll never get the chance to ask those questions again. So are you suicidal? I educate people on how to persuade people that there is hope, and then where to refer them. The easiest place is 1-800-273-TALK, because one of the barriers to mental health is not having access to counseling, right? The affordability is just simply not there. And so you can call the crisis line, whether you're suicidal or not. Maybe you're just having a difficult time and need someone to talk to, or you're having anxiety, but it's free. It's 24/7, and it's confidential, which is really important.
And I think it's good thing you brought that up, because I tell people all the time, don't give me my flowers when I'm dead.
Yes.
How about pick up the phone and call somebody?
Yes.
You know, it kills me when you text somebody and you know everybody got their phone with them, and it takes them 32 hours and you know, pick up the phone, look at your phone, and just call somebody that you never thought of and say, how are you doing today? It's funny, we live in a world where that is such a burden for someone to do. Why do you think that is?
I think people forget to connect now more than ever before because of technology. I mean, Campos has, you know, a lot of guys on his team that are in their 20s and younger. So, well, not that much younger, but anyhow, they're just constantly like this. I'm like this because I have a business to run, right? Like I'm responding to text, whatever, but they're just like this because that's their world, right? So people are just simply not connecting, and they're not making an effort to connect. They're losing that art. Yeah.
What you got to say about that, Campos?
I don't know. Yeah, I think times are changing, but it's like we have to adapt, you know. But I think it's the technology. We have to use it for good, but we're using it in a different way, just to get distracted, just not to think about important things, you know. And you're just scrolling, doing nothing, wasting time. But yeah, it's just we have to adapt.
You brought Mike Ford on board with this project, Indianapolis' own. He's done a lot of great things in this community, continues to do great things in this community, working with a lot of the leaders in Indianapolis, Indiana, such as Mike Epps, Andre Carson, and a couple of other leaders. What made you decide to bring Mike on with the program that he has to a modeling event?
Well, first and foremost, I really believe in Mike, and I really believe in his mission. And I was actually connected with him to help him elevate his nonprofit. So I was helping with some of the branding piece. Not a lot. I mean, he's already very established. He knows what he's doing, but just cleaning up some things, right? But yeah, he has an incredible story to be told. And I was like, wow, Mike, we need to get you on the Model Icon platform to bring the awareness for what you're doing into our community. So more so, it wasn't even the modeling aspect. I know we're joking around, this and that. Yeah, you know, he looks good, right? But at the end of the day, I wanted him to speak at my event just to spread more awareness.
The event, before we wrap up, tell me about the event. Where's it going to be? How do we get tickets? What are you looking for? How can some people who want to be a part of this participate? Give them the spiel.
All right, everybody. So the first annual Model Icon Indianapolis Fashion Show and Model Citizen Award Ceremony is taking place on May 17th at La Cascada. You can get your tickets at modeliconmagazine.com. Please come out to support your local community activists, to see incredible fashions, to see models from across the nation. We have models flying in from Alaska. We've got local talent here and all across. I mean, it's going to be a night to remember, and it'll be a life-changing experience. So please come out and support. We want to see you there. And yeah, thank you so much, Andre, for this opportunity.
Is there a number they can call?
Yes, you can call 815-914-8602. 815-914-8602. I prefer text. That's my main mode of communication.
Well, I don't know.
Call her.
Yeah, call her.
You can call me. It's all good. I'm on a lot of phone calls throughout the day. So if I don't answer, do follow up with a text.
Now, are you accepting local models who may not be a part of the Model Icon that want to participate in this event and maybe have a chance to work with you or be a part of your event? It's trying to get discovered, basically.
Yes, so they're welcome to attend and make connections. However, they do have to go through the training process.
Okay.
They really do. And we have had models that come in last minute, 2-3 weeks, but I'm very, very, very careful about that because they really have to put in a lot more effort.
Okay, great. Sherrie, how can the viewers reach out to you? Give me an email address or something.
info@modelicon.org.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show. I seen you working all day. I seen you out in front of the studio and you're taking pictures. You know, I seen you also sleep out there too. You didn't know I saw you sleeping out there.
Yeah, I was sleeping.
You was
All day
tired.
working.
She finally gave you a chance to realize. So you gonna let him? When you gonna give him some time off?
I need a break.
I leave tomorrow, okay? I leave tomorrow.
Look, when you was doing your show with Krista, I walked out and he was like this. I said, the poor man is knocked out. You can't wait till it's over, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
We enjoy all this. Thank you for having us.
Not my pleasure. You guys come back. Make sure you guys come out to the event, support. Remember what I said. All it takes is one click to make a difference in somebody's life or change somebody else's. This has been another, and I do mean another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show.